I want to take the time this morning to make a video about gratitude and the importance of being incredibly grateful and how it can transform your life. Now, the practice of gratitude is an essential step. So, every morning you want to either think or write, just in bullet points, 3 or 4 things that you are grateful for. And you want to really boil it down. So, grateful for this coffee this morning. Grateful for being able to see the sunrise this morning. Grateful for being able to have somewhere to live with a roof over my head. I'm grateful for being able to see the birds flying now this morning. I can see them here. Now, what this practice does, put into consistent daily effort, is it makes you a more positive person. Now, the importance of positive thinking is that it keeps you off the negative treadmill. So the negative treadmill is where you're constantly thinking about how little money you have. You're thinking about how far behind you are in the work you've got to do, or you're thinking about all the things that could go wrong. And when you're thinking like that, you activate this negative treadmill, where then something goes wrong. You stub your toe, you break a glass, you run out of fuel in your car, you're consistently thinking and bringing negative things into your life over and over and over again. And then you're constantly going to be stressed. You're thinking about what's going to go wrong next. You're thinking about all the bills that are coming up. And all this negativity compounds. And then you're going to have a very negative headspace where you're always stressed, anxious, scared. And that can foster over months, even years. I used to be a very negative person, and it's a very hard cycle to break. But when you start practicing just being grateful for even the smallest little things, even being grateful for a little pen that you can take notes with, the person that made that pen, you're grateful for them having existed and being able to bring you that utensil. Those little thoughts put into practice over months or weeks then start to switch your mind onto the positive treadmill. So instead of being constantly worried and scared and anxious, you're constantly grateful and improving. Do you understand? So I'm grateful for this month's paycheck. Don't even think about the facts that you may not be able to cover everything. You're grateful for that. I am grateful for the place I live. I'm grateful for the opportunities I have. Even if you're working a job that you don't actually like or doing something that you don't actually really want to do, you're grateful for having the opportunity to go to that place. You're grateful for having the opportunity to explore new ventures and having the ability with modern technology to explore other opportunities online, other job opportunities. You're grateful for the people you meet and network with. And all of this activates this positive treadmill, where then you start to have a little bit more lightness to your character, and you start to be a bit more easygoing. And the character traits of someone who is positive and easygoing, a little bit brighter, means that things tend to, I don't know why this is, but things tend to go better for you. Whether that's just because you're viewing the world in a much better light, that you just appreciate the day-to-day a lot more, or there's some universal factor to where if you are constantly grateful and positive, and you just start to receive more things in line with that worldview. Now, of course, you can't eliminate stress. You can't eliminate all the negativity in the world. But what you can do is frame your mind in such a way that even when something is going wrong, you can take a moment, and look around you and be grateful for what you have. even if something is going slightly wrong. And that is a very, very powerful mindset, so that when things are going wrong, you can keep yourself out of the darkness. You know, you can still be happy and grateful and smile, even if it's just about being able to see the sunrise, you know, or the sunset, even if it's just for a simple coffee. I'm very grateful for this coffee because it tastes brilliant and it gets me going for my day. You see, that little mindset there, that little thought, can really carry me through a hard day, because there's that little element to me that's able to be very happy and very grateful for the very smallest of things. So if you develop this skill, you can keep yourself out of the darkness, even when things seem very difficult and very hard. You can find a little something in the day to smile about, and when you're having a good day, your day is 10 times better. So try to practice either thinking about or bullet pointing on a pen and paper 3 or 4 things you're grateful for. Do it every morning. You know, just when you sit down, it only takes 5 or 10 minutes. You just sit, you think, or you sit and you write. What are you grateful for? And I guarantee you're going to have such a burst of happiness and motivation and just gratitude and just all these positive emotions. And this single practice has probably transformed the way that I operate on a day-to-day and I view things, because I have been a very negative person in the past, very stressed, very, all of this, and this simple practice nullifies quite a lot, almost all of those overwhelming negative feelings. Okay? So I want you to try and put this into practice, just for a week. And I want you to really see how transformative it is. A lot of this self-improvement, business stuff, life in general, it can be boiled down to a few very simple practices. And this is a big one. So today, now, I want you to write down the few things that you're grateful for this morning, just a few. And I want you to really see how that can carry you through the day. And then I want you to do it for the rest of the week. And I want you to see how transformative it can be in terms of getting out of those stresses and fears and anxieties that otherwise would cloud your mind if you didn't just take a moment to express gratitude for the things that you do have. So, put this into practice, and I'll see you in the next one.